Hey, Bashi.
Hey, Sufi.
I'm on the road.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm looking at something very cool right now.
Is it the Space Needle?
It is the Space Needle.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the children's book we used to have about the Space
Weedle
Needle?
in the Needle.
The Weedle on the Needle.
Yeah.
And I'm just a big fan of the Space Needle. And in general, I'm a fan of Seattle.
Yeah.
And I am doing a stand-up show at a zoo tonight.
Huh.
It's an outdoor venue. It's like a concert venue, but it's definitely at a zoo.
For animals or for people?
I guess for people, but I do think, I was like, maybe it's more a concert venue than a zoo, but then I saw that I had to get dropped off at the otter lot. So I think it's definitely a zoo. Outdoor comedy can break either way, so I'll report back.
Yeah.
A lot of people on a lawn. I feel like you definitely want a ceiling for comedy because you want to catch those laughs.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful, beautiful night in Seattle. Friday night in Seattle. So
Great.
hopefully people are ready to laugh.
There's a chance that there are going to be some chimpanzees or some howler monkeys or hyenas or something who could be sort of almost like mock laughing.
Right. Yeah.
Throughout. Hopefully you don't have to contend with that.
Well, and again, if there's anybody who's thinking about coming to the show tonight, obviously already too late if you're listening to this, but don't come if you've got what people describe as a hyena laugh, because that'll just be confusing.
No, but I'm saying an actual hyena.
That's what I mean, though.
Oh.
If a person has a hyena laugh as well, the last place you should come to see comedy is a zoo.
Because you might rile up the other hyenas?
Yeah, or just throw the performer who the whole time's going to be like, well, the hyenas are out.
Yeah.
Usually when I'm doing a show, I'm not worried about wildlife rushing the stage.
Yeah.
But tonight, that's going to be the back of my mind, obviously. Just putting safety first.
Do you think after the show, you might ask to go look at a couple animals? You might be like, hey, could I just take a quick spin through the monkey house or whatever?
They offered show up early, come see the private tour.
Gotcha. Which you probably are too stressed out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I don't want to name names, but I am doing a podcast right now. It's the life of having podcasts, every time you're like, oh, should I go see a new city or talk to the person I've seen the most in my entire life?
Yeah, but also you've often said that you're not very good at taking advantage of.
I am a little stressed out right now.
Sure. Because also you had your special, Dad Man Walking, that came out last year. Emmy nominated?
No. Golden Globe nominated.
Golden Globe nominated special.
I'll take it. Yeah.
And so now I'm guessing you're doing all new material.
New stuff, yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to see you out again with some new stuff.
Yeah. It's I'm very excited for you to see. Yeah, you took a couple strays for your veganism in the last one.
Yeah, sure.
You are currently not in it. Mom and Dad are in it. Mm-hmm. Not sure if they're gonna super dig it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
That's what you get.
Get used to it.
That's what you get for raising comedians. They're gonna come back around on you.
I'm very excited as we're recording this. It's Friday, and tomorrow I go to Vegas, and I'm going to get my second trip to the Sphere for the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And then who have, for the record, added dates. They're doing New Year's. Then they added
all Sphere dates.
All Sphere dates. I feel like maybe it's like the 26th. They could be doing Christmas for all I know. But and then they're doing more dates. They just added yesterday in February. And I had an appointment at 9 a.m. the other day when the sort of the New Year's Eve tickets had gone on sale. And that's when the tickets went on sale. And I opened Ticketmaster to buy more tickets, but I was like, what am I doing? I've seen them once.
When did you how fast you turned into this person?
Seeing them on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then I was like, should I just buy them for New Year's in case, I don't know. We don't know what our New Year's plans are yet.
Somebody posted a video, on one of the social media platforms. Mm-hmm. And it feels like the opening of the show, they just explode onto the stage.
I mean, sure, I don't want to give anything away, but
is that a spoiler?
Yeah, I've been telling Mackenzie, don't watch anything. Don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it is. Oh, you believe this can be spoiled?
I mean, there's no way to spoil it.
Right. But still, you're like, you have a lot of integrity for the surprises they've built in, and you're not.
Yeah.
You're not out
you
here.
know me. I sort of, for a long time, I wouldn't watch any trailers to any movies because.
Yes. The only thing you were okay spoiling was the experience for the people you were with. Because you want to go to the movies and sit next to somebody who's covering their eyes and ears like they're a weirdo.
No, I would cover my ears with my palms, and I would drum on the back of my head with my fingers. That really,
that's a cool vibe. That's a cool vibe.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm very glad you guys are going back to the Sphere.
Yeah, I'm excited because now I'll be going with Mackenzie, and our friends Molly and Devin are coming as well, and yeah, we're gonna get our Vegas on. I'm really
that's great.
Really looking forward to it.
Well, have a wonderful time.
Thank you. Break a leg tonight.
Thank you very much. And although I think, once again, though, like if you break a leg, I don't think you're allowed to say that at a zoo. I think you say that at a theater. I think when you say break a leg at a zoo, that just means you're prey. I think at a zoo, you're supposed to say have a good show. And then in a theater, you're supposed to say break a leg.
Okay, well, have a good show.
And you can say Macbeth at a zoo. All right.
Oh, okay.
Hey, these are brothers.
These are
Benji
brothers.
and
These
Joel.
are these are brothers who have been at it for a while.
Lovely.
Rocking
lovely
stages.
New album out.
Yeah. Good Charlotte. It's been a while since they've had a new album, but they got a new one. Motel Du Cap out now.
I feel like we didn't, and I feel like I should have asked them, would you recommend Charlotte as a vacation destination? Yeah.
Well,
So that was a missed
good.
opportunity.
Yeah.
it's good.
It's good.
All right. Have fun in Vegas. I don't know I just said that, but I really want you to.
Yeah.
And enjoy this conversation. Bye, everybody.
Family trips with the Meyers brothers. Family trips with the Meyers brothers. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
So nice to see you. Everybody said it's insane to do a podcast with your brother where nobody can tell your voices apart. And we said, we're going to do you one worse.
Oh, we're going to do you guys even better here.
Yeah. We're going to everybody listening is going to at no point know if there are 4 or 2 people on this podcast.
In some ways, there are only 2, and in some ways, there are only 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the
And
end,
maybe by the end of it, maybe we're just going to be one. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can find our way into the singularity. Nice to see you both.
I
You
think
too.
we have to be in person together to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll figure that out. This is just the first step. This is like just to get to know each other. How are you fellas?
Nice to meet you guys. This is our
You
first
too.
time meeting.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's really cool. We did, you guys were on, you played SNL when I was there, but I would
Yeah.
not say, other than maybe a goodnight hug, I would not, I would confirm that we have not met.
I actually just walked right off from the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were like, you walked up, you're like, I did not care for this, and you will not, yeah.
No, yeah. It was,
Tasteless.
Tasteless. Yeah,
Yeah.
this comedy. You call this comedy?
yeah.
Before we start, I have a question, and both you can answer this, but I feel like, Joel, you might know more. All right, so when you have, what is your treatment for a sore throat if you have to perform? Because I feel like you're the guy I want to go to as I'm drinking hot tea on a day like today.
Sore throat, or you actually don't have a voice. So it depends on what level of.
I guess it's like I had a sore throat, and now I feel like my voice is going to be raspy.
There's a spray you can get. You can spray it and numb it.
Okay.
You can also just take prednisone.
All right.
Just get your doctor to give you a couple prednisone pills.
Little
Gotcha.
steroids.
Take them.
There you go.
Take them like 6 hours before you have to perform, and you'll be like money.
So
Yeah.
steroids in the end have earned their reputation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah. But then
Performance-enhancing
we'll look out for the rage, Suf.
Yeah. Well, I'm already a little angry.
Yeah, prednisone doesn't make you angry, but it does kind of like energize you when you take it for the wrong reason. So if you just take it for your voice, which is probably not the right reason to take it, but I definitely do it if I have no voice and I got to go on stage, I will take prednisone.
Yeah.
I don't care who knows it.
How often, career-wise, how often have you had to cancel for a health-related reason?
Never.
That's amazing.
Never cancel the show for me. And I don't know how many shows we've ever canceled, but for the vocals, if I lose my voice, I either just push through it, or now I'm like, I'll just take a prednisone and I'll just like, it's not actually healthy if you do that all the time, but
right.
I don't know.
I get it. I feel like that's allowed.
There's worse things.
Yeah,
there
worse
are
things.
worse
That's true. For rock and rollers, I feel like behind the music, there was never one about prednisone.
Yeah.
Well, if you ask me if I did drugs, I don't. I never have, but I've taken prednisone every time my voice goes out.
Yeah, I think that your fans would appreciate that loophole that you've allowed.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys, twins. You got one older, one younger sibling.
Yeah, we have an older brother named Josh. So
Nice.
we have
Good call.
Yeah.
Well
nice-
done.
Yeah,
Good to have a
great
Josh.
name. Yeah, and a younger sister named Sarah.
And where do they fall? How much older? How much younger?
18 months. We're all 18 months apart.
Oh, that's nice.
How would you say they would reflect on life with twins as siblings?
What do you think, Benj? Probably.
That's a good question. I think they'd probably say there's pros and cons. We've had a lot of, I think now that we're all a bit older, it's super easy. When we were kids though, there was 4 of us crammed into, whatever space. And, me and Joel were always a team. So,
Right.
you always have an advantage if you have a team,
Yeah.
So,
Would the other two would they naturally team up to sort of try and balance those scales?
maybe. It might have been. They might have been like, maybe in some of the scenarios where someone needed to get blamed for something,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think me and Joel would take the fall for each other at certain times if it was strategic,
Yeah.
I definitely took a few whoopings for Joel.
That's really nice. And at the time you were taking them, was the expectation that you were taking them out of love or out of knowing that one day he would take one for you?
It's always strategic, I think. We have always been strategic. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How interchangeable, I'm assuming at home everybody knew who you were. How interchangeable were you at school? Or was that something where right away people sort of knew the difference between the two of you?
Not really. We definitely switched it up at school sometimes, and actually have kind of done that our whole life.
We still do it.
Yeah,
It's great.
We still do.
Like there's definitely interviews that you can read out there that are me that really Joel did. And there's definitely interviews out there that are Joel that I did. And they do it. People still do it all the time. They'll like, whatever music outlet or whatever will have like, Joel Madden, or and there'll be a picture of me and vice versa. Like it happens all the time. And when we were kids, we definitely did a little bit. I think the whole like, switching classes or like, that kind of stuff. We didn't really do that too much because I think we were having too much fun with it, so we sort of gave ourselves up. Like, haha, I'm not Joel, like somewhere in the middle of the day or something, But when we've needed to stand in for one another, like there's been, so many times I can't even count. Like, the amount of times like where it was either like a thing where one of us, either, got sick or there was we had a family commitment or something. And instead of just like making a whole thing about it, like Joel will just be like, dude, I'll do it. No, or I'll,
It's a phone or I'll do it.
Yeah, especially.
But now with Zoom, a lot of times if you plan something with Benj and I show up, it's not too, it's a quick little 3-minute like, yes, you get me instead or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, we've definitely been doing that for years, all our life.
Did you guys have a similar style, but did you ever dress identically?
I mean, we dress pretty similar.
Yeah, but would you ever like
yeah.
go like
Oh,
when you
yeah,
were
like-
kids in particular? Like sometimes,
Like
twins
same
get
outfit,
dressed
same shirt, same.
Not our mom did that until we were old enough to stop it.
Right.
So until about 7, probably,
Okay.
we were dressed the same. It was ridiculous. It was.
Sailor
It
suits.
was like The Shining.
Listen.
It was.
Listen, the sailor suits is not far off from.
Oh, that's
Okay.
amazing.
Okay. They probably only made those 4 twins. They were like, no, one kid. One kid's going to get wailed on if he's the only sailor at the party, but if there's 2, there's a chance.
Yeah, because then there might be a ship out at port and it could be full of them.
It was humbling. It was like, what are we on the Gilded Age? Like, where are we? Like,
Yeah.
What are we?
I feel like there's a picture of us, Josh, in some real like sailor, like blue shorts, like red bow tie kind of look. You know what I'm
Yeah, with
talking
like
about?
those almost those blue striped shirts that
Yeah.
Well,
one of those
listen,
artists wore all the time.
The problem with women who are dressing boys alone with no input from the father
Right.
is you get these Victorian looking these fucking these
It's very
Victorian,
Victorian.
to this day.
It's
Like
why?
the
Why
first,
is 2025? Why I said the other day, it's like, what do where are we? Are we, is this Edwardian,
So funny.
France or something? Like what?
it's crazy. I was like looking at my son the first 2 years of his life, and my wife gets like some outfit. She's like, "Doesn't he look cute?" And I'm like, he looks like a baby doll from like back in 1934.
Like a haunted baby doll that somebody forgot at a vacation rental.
Yeah, exactly.
But you were raised by a single mother, and it is very funny that obviously, I can only imagine how hard that it was for her.
Well, we weren't raised by a single mom. Actually, I have to say, but my dad was always working. So always working. He worked like 3 jobs.
All right.
But he was cool though. Like he would come home and be like, it was like the Christmas Story, like the pink bunny suit. He's like,
yeah.
do you want to take that off? And you're like, yeah, I do. And he's like, go take it off. You can go take that off.
That is nice. That is a great moment from that movie.
Yeah.
Where he just realizes how sad his kid is.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Do you both have 2 kids?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have they developed a fashion style at this point?
Yeah, mine are teenagers, so they have their own.
Okay, so they have their own
going
thing.
on.
Got it.
It's a wild house over here. There's not a lot of fashion.
Right.
It's all function over here, I think.
Got it. You're in the function years.
Just all function.
Function years.
I got 3, and it's funny because my 9-year-old dresses like he never wants anybody to comment on his clothes. Like he's just like the most basic look. If you could wear the same sort of like normie outfit every day, he would. And then my middle one dresses like somebody said the other day he always looks like Chris Martin when he was wearing that like super colorful jacket, like that era. It's like that era Coldplay. And I'm like,
he pieces
that
it.
is
Seth's
totally-
middle kid just pieces it together. It's very.
he's just got
He's
his
like a
own look.
wizard one day, and he's like, and Robin Hood's Band of Thieves the next. It's
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
I like that. I like that. You got a little bit. You got one that's just utility.
Yeah.
It's like Steve Jobs. Just like his closet just gonna all look the same. And you got one that's
Yeah. That was the way we were. I mean, Josh was the peacock and I was I feel like the normal. Not normal, posh. I didn't mean it that way.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Did
No
you
offense
guys, do you
taken.
feel like your style developed from the kind of music you liked? Or do you feel like people dress like you because they liked your music? Like, I can't decide. Like, did you? I'm like, because you have such a specific look. I'm
We
like,
definitely,
was that predated?
yeah. But I feel like we always, if you think about like the sort of genre and the bands we were touring with, a lot of punk bands, and we definitely had our moments. But I feel like we always looked a bit like odd ones out. I think Joel always had like more swagger in terms of like how he was dressing. I think when we were younger, but like I don't know. I feel like we were more influenced by like probably growing up. There was like we had a couple really cool uncles who were like bikers, and like we had a couple guys around that were just like I think like we were like, oh, that's how a man's supposed to look, right? And you just kind of model after that more so than coming into sort of. I think in entertainment, like we've never been able to use a stylist. Like we tried a few times. Like they'll say, "Oh, you need a stylist for this big shoot," and then we always just end up wearing our clothes. Like we go and we try to be nice. We try to, but like it's always a little funny. It's just funny. It's just like, okay, you try a couple things on, and you go, "Yeah, I think I just will wear what I wore in here today."
Yeah.
And,
Thank you, though.
You're both married to very stylish women. Are they the ones who say, like, you know what, a stylist might be helpful? Or is that, did you come? Yeah, okay, gotcha.
My wife
No.
is very, Nicole's very much like, just likes how I show up.
Great.
And occasionally we'll say like dress up a little bit more. Like the older I get, the less I want to dress up. I want to wear a hat and a hoodie or a whatever. But occasionally she'll be like, Joel, we're going somewhere. You need to like put something on, and I'll do it. And happy I did usually, because I would have been completely underdressed and felt even more awkward. So, but yeah, she's always been cool with whatever I wear.
Yeah.
Our style hasn't changed much over the years. I think that's how it is sometimes.
I think that's nice. I do, for the record, think that especially, I don't know, with bands, when their style changes drastically, it's a little jarring.
Yeah, it can be like,
You
what?
do want some consistency.
Yeah, I guess you can like do the album cycle where you all like wear suits or something. Like,
Right.
I feel like that, like there's like, or like maybe you can do like the thing where like everyone wears like the like garage jumpsuits or something like,
Or like the all white era or something like
Right.
that. But also, when we came, out in the early 2000s, we were kids. So now we're grown middle-aged guys. That's jarring enough for people when they're like, they're fucking older.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, what the fuck? So you can't change that much about us. We already changed enough just in our age.
It would be too depressing for everybody to realize the passage of time if you were also wearing like khakis and like golf shirts.
yeah, just pleated.
Yeah, just oh my god,
Dockers.
they were great. They still rock, but the pleats really threw me.
We're in our Dockers era.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break and hear from some of our sponsors. Support for family trips comes from Airbnb. Hey, Benji.
Hey, Sufi.
We're going to take another Airbnb trip to Pittsburgh this year. We're so excited. And I just want to shout out the people who realize they have a home that could be special for people like us who are on vacation. Their family gets to make a little bit of money, and our family gets to stay there.
Yeah. And I mean, think about it. For a lot of you've probably put a lot of work into your homes, making it feel comfortable, cozy, cool, relaxed, whatever vibe you've created. It's probably a vibe that other people might enjoy as well. So when you're out of town, you could think about your own place as a place that could be an Airbnb.
And don't just think about the experience you're providing for people like Josh and I. Think about the extra income you're going to make, and that can support your travel, could support your goals. Your home could be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.com/host.
Support comes from Hexclad. Fall's rolling in, and you know what that means. The temps are dropping, but your kitchen is heating up. It's game day spreads, slow-simmered stews, and comfort food on repeat. And if your current pans flinch every time they see high heat, you deserve better. Enter Hexclad, the cookware that's as serious about performance as you are about that meat thermometer. You guys, I got pans. I'm a bit of a cook. But when I got some Hexclad pans, they made my old pans look like garbage. Actually, more than that, they made my old pans garbage because that's where they ended up after I got these Hexclad pans. They cook evenly, they heat up fast, they clean up even faster, and these are beautiful pans. Stainless steel strength, toxic-free, non-stick convenience, and yeah, they look pretty sweet on your stovetop. Now let's not forget about the real game changer. Hexclad's Japanese Damascus steel knives are incredibly sharp, beautifully balanced, and trusted by chefs like Gordon Ramsay for a reason. They're tough enough to handle everything from carving a roast to dicing onions like a pro. Game days are coming. It's time to upgrade your kitchen before hosting season kicks into full gear. Get 10% off at hexclad.com/trips and make sure your spread is as strong as your lineup. Take pride not just in your perfectly grilled steak, but in the exceptional tools you use to create it. For a limited time, get 10% off Hexclad with our exclusive link, hexclad.com/trips. Support the show and cook with gear as serious as your passion at hexclad.com/trips. Let Hexclad know we sent you and experience the ultimate upgrade in your kitchen with Hexclad's superior performance.
Here we go.
So, so you're Waldorf, Maryland? What parts of Maryland is that you guys grew up?
Southern Maryland is kind of a part of the state. It's down there, and it's kind of like, it kind of starts in PG County, but goes to Charles County, St. Mary's County. So we grew up down there in like Charles and St. Mary's County. So it's it's a little bit away from DC, it's probably about an hour and a half or ish more, hour 45 maybe from DC where we grew up. So there was kind of access. Our grandparents lived in DC, so we did go to DC a little bit. But it's down there a lot. It's beautiful. A lot of farms. A lot of there's water everywhere, so everybody's on the water somewhere. It's a beautiful place. Maryland is gorgeous.
It's a really pretty place. I remember I took my wife there for the first time, and she was just blown away at how beautiful it was. Like it's like a place you never really heard of, because it's just, you hear about Maryland, but if you live there, especially, we didn't leave. Until we were probably 18, 19. So, and really, when I say we didn't leave our town, which, it's a little bit further down there than Waldorf. Like Waldorf was like where the mall it was. So, if you needed, if you wanted to find like a alternative press magazine so you could find out what the bands were, or you wanted to find you would go up to Waldorf. But that was a good 45-minute drive, and it was to where we grew up. And, you're down there for months and months, right, without leaving. And it's out there. When I remember when I took her there for the first time, she was blown away just at how pretty it's really pretty down there. And it's really sweet too. Everybody's really, it was a sweet place to grow up. And I think very like classic American too. Like when you watch like the like movies about like just like football and like, baseball and like those like, stuff like that. But I remember taking her there for the first time, and she was just like, oh, I kind of get you a little bit more now. Which I think goes back to the style thing of like, it's another thing I think we both appreciate about our wives is if we have to go somewhere or something and you go, can I just wear this? And my wife's like,
most of the time mine's like,
perfect, honey.
Whatever.
Yeah. That's perfect, honey.
That's great.
My wife does this thing where I'll try really hard to dress exactly the way she wants me to dress. So I'm the opposite of you guys. And then I'll come downstairs. By the way, everything I'm wearing, she has bought. Right? I have no agency other than trying to put together an outfit.
That's kind of nice, though.
It's kind of nice, but then I'll come down, I'll be like, how's this? And she'll say, I don't love that shirt, but it's fine. And I'm like, well, then don't plant the seed. Drop out if it's fine, just say it's fine. But now I'm walking around being like, what's wrong with the shirt that you bought that I never would have picked out in a million years?
Seems when you walk in, you're ready. You walk in and she goes, are you dressed yet?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I'm ready to go.
See, I feel like you guys have done it. You guys have laid down like a decades-long base coat. So if you just do a little bit, I bet people are like, they really did a button-up shirt.
Really made an effort.
Well, we're lucky because when we dress up, all we throw on is a black button-down and a black jacket. I wear black jeans anyways.
Yeah.
I wear black Vans or black slip-on, whatever, black shoes, and I'll throw a fedora on so I don't have to do my hair and go, and I'll be dressed up. It's very easy dress up situation.
Has anyone ever given you for a birthday or Christmas an item of clothing that's not black? Do you own things that aren't black?
Well, the funny thing I always try to do every now and then, right? I don't even know why. It's in my head, right? Like, because I always like want, of course, you want your wife to be like, oh, you look handsome, and it's always nice when that happens. And so I'll always like try to find like some sort of like preppy like thing or like something every now and then, like probably, I do this probably once every like 2 or 3 years. And I'll go out on a limb and I'll like buy like a nice shirt that's like not something I would wear. And then I'll just like, if we're going to like dinner or we're with, friends, or we're going somewhere, then I'll come out and I'll be like, I'll be like, okay, I hope she likes this.
Feeling yourself a little?
Well, just like hoping that like this preppy new look will like, just like, transform me from being like, dusty tattooed guy into like, refined gentleman. And then I'll wear it and come out and she'll be like, that's new. Oh, honey, you look handsome. And then I'll be like, okay, and then I'll be about 2 seconds before we leave, I'll go take it off and I'll be like, sorry, I can't wear it.
I definitely have a couple different other colors in my wardrobe. I could pull off khaki pretty good, like more like garage khaki probably is a bit more. I can pull off dark browns and things like that.
You have incredible range. Nobody appreciates the range.
I've got good range.
All the way from black to garage khaki.
Yeah, exactly. A navy
dark
blue,
gray.
a dark gray, a navy blue. Those colors work. Over the years, though, if you Google me and look at some of the shit I tried to pull off, I think in the late 2000s, probably around then, I was trying to maybe grow up a little bit or something, be taken more seriously in my head maybe. So I was trying different things. And there's some awkward pictures in there of me trying some different looks, So we all have our moments of trying to figure out. And you usually land right back where you started, where you're like, you know what I'm comfortable in, and what fits me.
My wife suggested, she said, hey, for your show, let me just pick out an outfit one day, because I feel like, you're just kind of sticking with one look, and I'm casual in the show now, so it's a lot of like jeans and button-ups, and she picked out a pair of like navy green pants and sort of a purple sweater. And by the time the show was over and I walked back, my producer had printed out all these pictures of me side by side with like the Super Friends Lex Luthor. And I was like, son of a bitch, this is what funny. I get.
Didn't she also pick out something for you, and then Dad texted you, lose the sweater?
Yeah, no. I wore it. She picked out a shirt for me to go on Kelly Clarkson, and by the time I walked off, he said, lose the shirt. That's what my dad texted. I'm getting it from all sides, guys.
It just means you love your wife, dude.
I do love my wife. That's it. Somewhere between love and fear lies where
that's what it means.
It's a nice management. Yeah.
What were summer vacations like when you were out of school in Waldorf? What would you guys do to occupy your time? Were you just playing music, or were you getting out on the water?
So there's lots of rivers, creeks, ponds, lakes around. So you're always kind of in a creek somewhere. Like we were running around barefoot in the woods all the time. When we were younger, my mom would just kind of lock us out. She'd be like, okay, here's a pitcher of Kool-Aid, come back later. And we would just be outside all day. And then as we got older,
playing in the woods.
Yeah. Were there other like neighborhood kids around in there? Were you with your other siblings?
There was a lot of fun stuff to do, but we would either be maybe playing with like some of our cousins or just the four of us, But we also had through the years, and there's a lot of like sort of country roads down there. So my dad had brought home this old like Honda, like I think he got it for like $25, and he like got it running. And the rule was if you go out to the main road, you have to wear shoes and a shirt. And we were just two of us at a time riding that around. There was a little general store out there where you can go and get like, penny candy and like a soda or something. So we would ride up there. There was all places fields and stuff. And then also we had this little remember the little trucks, like remember those little Datsun like Toyota trucks, like they don't make them that small anymore. Remember the old like
Yep.
So he had one of those too, and we could drive it around. I'd say like once we got to a certain age, like
13 or something, 14.
Yeah. And then and we were just like, there was always a river or a creek or you were fishing, you were crabbing. There was, like we played Little League, so there was that. I'm trying to think what else. We never really took family vacations. I want to say in our lifetime, we went and visited my uncle in Alabama, and that was a vacation. We drove.
But every summer we would go to this place called King's Dominion. It's in Virginia. You drive, it's about an hour and a half over there. Anyways, we would drive there every summer for like...
That was a big deal.
Yeah, we'd go there. The whole family would go there once a year. And I always remember that being like...
What would you get up to at King's Dominion?
Roller coasters.
That was
great.
that was the theme park. Yeah, theme park. And
so a day trip to King's Dominion?
Yeah.
Day trip.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty simple, pretty chill.
Yeah.
That thing you said about going to the like country store, which very much I feel like was a part of our summer, like how much your summer was just thinking to the point where you would get soda and candy.
Ice cream.
And then, it just it just some aiming towards that moment and then just the slow come down until like dinner. That like ultimately was enough to make a summer day. If you were on a bike and you were with a couple friends and you had a little bit of cash in your pocket and you knew you weren't going to need like a parent to help you make the transaction, that was a really nice level of freedom.
But I think that childhood ultimately like led us to what we do for a living. Is my dad left when we were like 13. He was gone out of the picture after that. That's when we started the band. We were pissed off. We wanted to and so it's interesting. The childhood of being down there, then getting into the band. And then when we hit the road, we'd never seen anywhere. We'd never been on a plane till we were probably till we got a record deal when we were 19 or 20. So we were ready to go. And so traveling and touring was nothing. We were doing 300 shows a year.
Wow.
Like, it was no problem because we just loved to see shit.
We had never been anywhere.
Before you started seeing shit, did you know that was a hole in your life? Do you feel like as kids you were like, oh my God, I want to see the world? Or it wasn't until you started seeing the world that you were like, oh my God, show me more?
I don't know if it was sort of almost like, there was actually down where we live, there's an Amish community where I feel like we were almost Amish.
Yeah.
True. We
like,
very, very,
like we never been.
There was a lot of
anywhere,
rules. So, we didn't watch MTV until we were teenagers, and we'd go to other people's houses.
Are you saying you were Amish-ish?
Like religious.
Yeah. Ish Amish-ish. Yeah.
But I don't know if we knew there was a hole there. I think like, you know what I mean? I remember the first time we flew on a plane. It was right before we got a record deal because we had an aunt that lived in California. And that was the first time we ever went on a plane as we were 19 years old. I remember saving the barf bag because
and the napkin,
I was like,
you're like,
and the
souvenir.
ticket, I think I still have the ticket somewhere.
So
I swear. Because we were blown away just going to the airport. It was, I know that sounds crazy, but like,
I think it makes total sense.
And we were just so green, but I think it set us up in a nice way because we did come out into the world and do our first record. And we were really excited and we were trying our hardest. And I think there's something sweet about that. Like we weren't jaded at all. We were very green. And so every single person, I remember the first time we ever saw, the first famous person we ever saw when we first went to LA was Marlon Wayans.
Great.
And
he was
now,
really nice.
And we told him that story, by the way. Like now we're friendly. Like we told him that story. And it was just like, I think it was a sweet way to come into the world, but then also you get your ass handed to you, and then you grow up a little bit, like as you get older and you do a couple records, but I think that we somehow managed to preserve a little bit of that excitement and curiosity, and that still to this day, I think it makes us appreciate how we do it now and where we get to go and all the places, we get to see. I think we've always kind of made friends everywhere we go. And I think that's a function of that whole, experience, and I think that's never a bad thing when you are going maybe more into it with that attitude than being jaded, I guess, So.
I mean, I'm happy to hear making friends because, I sometimes assume part of the touring life is there's not much time to actually be a human being. It's a lot of just the travel and then the being a stage persona. Do you feel like you guys just were getting the most out of every place you went?
I think so. We've always been that way. And we have each other. So we have a built-in friend. And so I think we're more set up to be friends with people quicker because I think that we have we have that kind of relationship with each other. So, I think being close to people isn't hard for us because we've just grown up with being close to one another. But I definitely feel like it set us up to really enjoy everything we do, every restaurant, every hotel, every place, big and small, every country. We were always excited to be there, and we thought it was cool, and we were into learning, experiencing shit. So I do think that set us up in a nice way. And to this day, I still enjoy every time I'm anywhere in the world. I really enjoy it. I get a lot out of it.
Are you the kind of people? Because sometimes and I don't do that often, but when I'm on a stand-up tour, sometimes I have a capacity to just sit in my hotel room for 5 hours before the show. Are you all right, we're here. We're not going to be here long. Let's get out and do one thing before the show.
Well, we had to learn how to do that, right? Because a lot of times, especially if you haven't traveled, and I think our families have taught us how to do this. Our wives have taught us a bit how to live. They taught us how to live a bit, because especially too, we were broke. We were so so. That's another thing is learning that you actually can go and do stuff. I think trying restaurants and experiences are important, but you don't really know how to do that, right? So I think that we would before when we first started, right? You might go to a hotel and you only go within a 1 block radius of the hotel, and you'll be like, oh yeah, they got a Chick-fil-A right there. Cool. All right. And then you didn't know 2 blocks away was the one restaurant that everybody goes from around the world to go and try. So I think as we got older, we got a little bit better about that. And probably definitely with the help of our wives, I think. But all of our friends kind of laugh at me and Joel sometimes because when we do try something, right, we're like, that's the most amazing burger I've ever had in my life. That's crazy. That's crazy how good that is. And we'll just talk about it and we'll just and our friends are always like, oh my God, when you try something it's literally your mind is blown, But
I don't know, people allow themselves to, have their minds blown. That's what gets you out of the bed and I'm going to go try something new. It's a great way to experience things. You guys, I know you have, is it safe to say you have a really fervent fan base in Australia? I know you have it everywhere, but it does seem to have a unique relationship. Is that something that, how quickly did that happen? And because I know you guys were even over there working on was it the Australian Voice? Was that one?
Yeah, The Voice.
Yeah.
We did The Voice. I actually think that our relationship with Australia is a really special one. It started in 2000. That was the first place we ever went to internationally. So I think there was something about that was special.
Also, there was the first place we ever had mainstream success because here we were touring with a lot of punk bands, and on our first album it wasn't kind of mainstream. In Australia, it was the first song we put out on
all over the place.
On the mainstream radio, mainstream TV, everything. That was the first experience we had with that. And
Did,
I think
did
that-
anybody ever explain to you why they thought it happened there in a way that was different from the States? Was it just the alchemy of whatever they were looking for at the time?
Because Australia just loves some real motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was wondering if that was it.
Could you feel it on stage? Did you know right away that this is
right
like
away.
Right when you got
right
off
when
the
you
plane.
when you got off the plane. It was like, oh damn, they know who we are here. That's crazy. And then also, but I think Joel, we've talked about this. Something about Australia. There's a through line with where we grew up.
Yeah.
There's
That's
something
maybe
about
closer than maybe culturally closer than what you will find in like New York or LA, where you go and you made your records and you met with the label and all this stuff. I think Australia is a little bit closer to like Middle America in a lot of ways, like with a lot of like the mindset and or like how I don't know, like I feel like
I
there was
definitely,
something.
when I think about us, if I saw a movie that took place in Australia and the dad's rule was like, you have to put a shirt on if you got to the road, I'd be like, that sounds right.
yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
you guys are basically like talking, your upbringing sounded a little Mad Maxy with just like weird little cars and scooters.
Yeah, like little junkyards and shit like that, hanging out and going to places like that. But Australia, I think.
Remember,
because
we used
of
to
that-
actually go to this junkyard for fun. There was a
Yeah,
junkyard
we
up the
love
road.
the junkyard. We love
I
the
mean,
junkyard. I
it's
mean,
a
there's so
dream
much
come
fun
true.
to be had. But Australia, I think, was just that they embraced us first, maybe of anywhere in the world, and it. I think it was just a unique thing that happened where we just had this great relationship. Our whole career, we've had this really truly, it's like home away from home when we go there, and it like we've had a really great like standing in Australia with everything we do, and even just going around there, it's just a different experience than what I hear maybe someone else has there. Like it does feel like very homeish, like feels like home. So I think we've been lucky. We just have this like unique relationship with Australia.
that's great.
It's very cool. When you go, how many different cities do you hit when you go on an Australian tour?
Usually in Australia, you do Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth, maybe Canberra.
Mm-hmm.
But then on some tours, you'll hit some like in between markets, and depending they'll there's a little mini festival or there's things. But the other thing about Australia too is that Australia does as like down home and as nice as it is, it has a bit of an edge too, which I think we do as well. Like we have the friendly, curious, and fun side, but then we add a little bit of an edge. I mean, we can be a bit protective and a bit like, for people we love, and so I think Australia's got a little bit of an edge too, which I think we enjoy a bit. They'll tell you exactly. They'll tell you what's up. They'll tell you what they think, and we like we like that. It feels honest. So
I've never been. Josh's never been.
Nope.
Kind of crazy in all our travels, and now job,
like
kids. I mean, I know I'd like it, but when you guys go, like, what if you? I mean, again, I know you go to do shows, but like, if you were going not to do shows, how many days do you think you have to stay in Australia for the travel to be worth it?
I think a really good. It depends on which cities you want to go to and how many and whatever. But I think if you're going to go to Sydney, or I would say like for me, my two choices would be Sydney and Melbourne, but Perth. But Perth is really cool too because you're like on the edge. It feels like you're on the edge of the earth in Perth. It's just like really special. I can't explain it. But like if you're gonna do Sydney and Melbourne, you want to do like 3 or 4 days in each place, at least. But if you're just doing Sydney, 5, 6, 7 days is great.
That's awesome.
I think like a good like what depends on if you got your family with you or not, because it's it's hard to be away too long, but I think a good 2-3 week run in Australia is good.
But minimum 5-6 days. A lot of nice shit there though. A lot of like luxury and shit there in Sydney. It's just beautiful city, right on the the water, everything. It's really nice.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break and hear from some of our sponsors.
Support comes from Soul. I still love a good night out, but I'm not always in the mood to drink. Luckily, I found a great alternative. Soul's out-of-office gummies. They give me that same light, happy buzz without the hangover, sugar, or awkward next morning. Soul specializes in delicious, hemp-derived THC and CBD products designed to boost your mood and help you unwind. Their best-selling out-of-office gummies were designed to provide a mild, relaxing buzz, boost your mood, and enhance creativity and relaxation. With 5 different strengths, you can tailor the dose to fit your vibe. From a gentle 1.5 milligram microdose to the newest 15 milligram gummy for a more elevated experience. Personally, I only have 3 of their different strengths. I have the 1.5s, the 3s, and the 6s. And that's enough for me, because know thyself. Also, they're delicious, they're vegan, which I know a lot of you don't care about, but I do. And recently I went to Vegas for 2 nights. First day, we hit the ground running, and we hit the ground drinking, and I did not feel great the next day. Day 2, no drinking, little bit of soul, lot of bit of fun. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think you know what I mean. Soul also has a variety of products specifically designed to help you get a better night's rest, including their top-selling sleep gummies, a fan favorite for deep, restorative sleep. Bring on the good vibes and treat yourself to Soul today. Right now, Soul is offering our audience 30% off your entire order. Go to getsoul.com and use the code TRIPS. That's getsoul.com, promo code TRIPS for 30% off.
Here we go.
Do you guys, you said you didn't travel much as kids. Once you started meeting with success, would your family, would your brother, your sister, your mom, would they ever travel, come see you do shows?
Yeah. We bring them out.
I'm trying to think of where. I'm trying to think of where in the world, though. Definitely my brother and my sister came all over the world. At some point, they were. My mom, I'm trying to think if she ever went international. She definitely did U.S. all over the U.S. But yeah, everybody was traveling a little bit.
I know this is a weird question, but are you aware? Because I'm so aware when my parents are in the crowd for a show.
Yes.
Are you like, my mom's here tonight and I hope it's a good show? Do you ever think that way?
It's a little bit stressful.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Also, you want them to have a great experience, even more so than the show. Like, you want them to have a good experience. So still to this day, I'll be more stressed out if my mom's there. And then I have to remember that she just wants to see us.
Of course.
We're do our thing and have, see people,
But also your mom will get caught up, talking to she'll go and she'll start talking to fans and then she'll start trying to help them. Like you don't understand. She came all the way here from here and you're like, okay, of course, if I know it, I'm going to stop and I'm going to bring someone backstage, take a picture with them, give them whatever they want. But everybody in the crowd has a story of why they need to come backstage. So my mom would be taking people back and forth all night long because she's talking to everyone.
It's sweet.
And you're it's very sweet.
It's
very
the
sweet.
Best. It's so funny that your mom's like, you're not going to believe this. They're also big, good Charlotte fans.
You're like, Mom, we're going on stage in 5 minutes, and it's just she's coming back and forth, and she's connecting with people and talking to them, and it's very sweet. I love it, but also makes it really hard to function at work.
Yeah, I've told this story, but my dad, the amount my assistant would be like, because at this point, which makes perfect sense, my dad just communicates with my assistant directly. And she'll be like, hey, friends of your dad are at the show tonight, and he wants you to say hi afterwards. And I'm like, of course. Yeah. And then I'll go back and I'll talk to them. And at some point I'll be like, how do you know my dad? And they're like, oh, I was wearing a Pittsburgh Steelers hat, and he came over and talked to me because my dad's from Pittsburgh. And then he told me that you're his son, and then he asked if I ever wanted to see the show. And I'm like, so he just kind of bullied you. Maybe he just bullied you into coming. But
that's kind of how it goes. That's kind of how
again,
it is
we're
parents.
very lucky to have parents who are promoting us and are proud. And I mean, I think also it speaks to your mom. She must know that you guys. She has an expectation of politeness when she brings people to you, and that's a really special thing too.
Politeness is definitely a thing, and manners are a thing. And I think we were absolutely one of the greatest things my parents gave me was a respect for manners and being polite. To people, period. Which is why, of course, if your mom is bringing, or anyone she sends your way, which is the same thing. We met on a plane, and I told her, and her daughter's best friend grew up, and this is, and it's just some story, and you're like, this is great. I'm happy. But it's just funny because it's always like that. You'll be in some situation, and that's what parents are great about. That's what I think when you're an entertainer and you're in the entertainment and you've been doing it for long enough, you can get jaded on how interesting other people think it is what you do. It's not that you don't think what you do is interesting, but you've been doing it long enough that there's no novelty in it for you. It becomes more of like a craft thing.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot of novelty for people in entertainment and seeing like, what is that like to do that for a living? And I totally get it. But if, with our moms and dads they'd have a whole ass meet and greet, I think, everywhere with us. And also, they're proud of you. And like, I totally get it. But I think as you get older, you're middle aged, you're like, this is just, it's not that I don't love my job, but it is my job. It's just a job. Like I go, I'm more excited to get home and hang out with my kids and, hang out with my wife. That's true. Yeah. That's how I feel.
Do you guys ever wrap up a tour and sort of tack a vacation on to the end of it to sort of decompress and have everybody out?
Absolutely. Maybe. If you're ending somewhere cool, and like, if you can, if it works out, where like, Europe's pretty cool for that, where you could go like, let's like jump over here for a few days and hang out. It
always comes down to family logistics.
Right.
Yeah. And school and that sort of thing.
And we just took, we just put a record out, and it's our first record in 7 years. And even the kind of 2 records we put out before that, we sort of only halfway put them out. We didn't really tour them that much, or do it like we're doing it, on this one. I think we've had like 10 years off, really.
Yeah,
like
from real fun.
Right.
Yeah, from like really doing what we were doing, the first 15 years. So I think that we do it all a little bit different because we're just 10 years later, like, you know what I mean? Like, Joel, your kids are grown. I now have 2 kids. Like it now I think we'll do it a little bit differently. And I think that just comes down to like, honey, what's your schedule? And logistics.
How far apart do you guys live, like from each other?
Opposite coasts.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm LA. He's New York.
What about you guys? Are you guys super close?
We moved up to be closer to them, so we moved out of the city.
Yeah,
because we were in LA for 20 years, and then we finally moved out of the city, which I really wanted to do a long time ago. But Nicole grew up in LA. It's all her whole life. It's her parents are 10 minutes away, so that was a big move for her, and it's turned out to be great. But one of the big things was we were too far away from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're lucky. It's funny you talked about how like it was easy for you guys to make friends places because you were brothers. And Josh and I had a similar experience where we went to college together. And so we have this one big group of college friends that we're, both in. Then we had our first job together as we worked at a theater overseas. And so we have a second whole group of people. And it is so nice to have that, because otherwise, like, you don't get as you get older and you have these more responsibilities. Like, if your brother's not your friend, you still have to find time to see your brother. So it's so much nicer because you're like, I don't have room for a friend and a brother. Right. Like, I got to like lump it all together.
Our brother's name is Josh as well. Mm-hmm. We've worked together pretty much. We've worked together for a long time, and now we work. We have a few different companies, and all of us work together on everything, and we love it. I mean, definitely, we started to learn how to communicate better in our 30s. I'd say we would fight a little bit in our 20s, and now I can't even remember if we've had an argument in the last 10 years, really.
7 years between albums, but how long did you start working on the one that just came out? Is it a year, 2 years?
I want to say we started working on it about, Joel, a year and a half ago?
Yeah, about a year and a half.
And was it a situation where you just kind of both knew it was time to start working on one?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, we couldn't force it. It really like, and I think it comes down to Joel more than me. Like, I feel like, got to have something to write about.
And you got to want to go on stage. You got to want to go on stage to go on stage. You can't phone it in. So it took me a long time to kind of want to get back on stage. I don't know why. I just didn't feel, I don't know what it was, but, and then it all just kind of hit in like 2023, we played my little sister's wedding, and it was like the first time we were together as a band in 5 years, and it was really, really nice. And I was really happy. I had such a good time. And then that was that's the story with the record. That's why it's called Motel Du Cap. We were at Hotel Du Cap, and it's like this, beautiful, big, fancy wedding, really nice, with this girl that I've been raising since he was 7, my wife's little sister, and I love her more than anything in the world. She's one of my favorite people. And her husband, who's now one of my best friends, they asked us to play the wedding. We went and did it, and it was fucking awesome. We had such a good time, and the band was back together. And I was like, this would be fun if we could do this again. And Benji was like, we can. Let's make a record. And then out of that, we went back home and we started piecing it together and figuring out. And 2 years later, we have a record out. So it's a nice story.
It's literally the first act of a screenplay that an old punk band gets together to play at a wedding.
Yeah.
And it's
I'm
like,
sure
we gotta do it again.
The guests at that wedding must have been pretty psyched. Were you a surprise, or did people know it was going to happen?
It was a surprise for the guests. I don't think they knew.
Oh my
That's
God.
pretty great.
Our family knew. It was really nice.
Yeah, that's great.
That's really
and then I know you guys have dates sort of coming up. Have you already been touring with the new album, or is it all about to?
We decided this year we were just mainly going to do festivals and sort of looks like that, and then but we're going to do we're going to do serious tours.
Awesome.
Next year, and actually weirdly excited about it.
Great.
Which I didn't know if we would be again. Not because we don't like it. I think it goes back to like we were talking about, like, the whole thing, how you dress, all this stuff. It's like, I really enjoy not having to look in the mirror. I really like not really having to think about what I'm wearing. And then, so you're kind of approaching this thing going like, okay, like we came out when we were 20 years old, 21. I'm 46. Like, I don't want to be 21. I like where I'm at right now. This is my favorite part of my whole life. I love it. And I think just relating to like how we relate to the world. And I think once we sort of like made peace with that, we just going to be ourselves. But also, Seth, I know you would know, like, what we do is what we love to do. So we want to do it, but then you go to promote it and you're on Kelly Clarkson. Great show. Great. She's great. But you're there and there's like these other guests and you just are self-conscious. You're like, what the fuck am I? Like,
100%. Yeah.
What do I say? What do I do? I'm just here to promote my record. I want to do it. I'm trying my best. And you show up and you're trying to get with it and be there and like match the energy and promote your shit. And because you have to, if you love this thing and you want people to check it out, you got to go do the promotion. And the fact that they've invited you to come on their show and you respect the platform, you got to show up and you got to like give it your best. But it's awkward and weird, and it's like it's not like I'm not too good for it. I'm also like not jaded where I'm like fuck that, not at all. It's just you're at home with your fucking kids and you're like you're level at home. You're just like I don't have to look in the mirror. I just get dressed and go take the kid to fucking baseball and go do the. And then you go out into the world and you're like, oh shit, I haven't checked in a while. And you're looking around and it's just like it's kind of bizarre. It's not that I can't do it. I do it all the time when we
There's
have to
also,
promote
I
something.
think there's a silliness that comes to the industry that's just funny. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, do you guys have a coffee? Could I grab a coffee? He wants a coffee. Oh, there's a coffee.
Yeah.
Yes, radio to so-and-so. They want a coffee.
Yeah.
You're just like
That's when somebody holding in the air being
there's a
like,
coffee.
We can have the coffee in 3 minutes.
Yes,
and you're like,
yes.
all of this makes me regret that I asked for the coffee.
Yeah. There's a part of that you just have to get comfortable with, and I think that
exactly.
you're going back into what people are. Everybody's trying their best. It's like no one's trying to be no one's really trying to overdo it. Everyone wants to do their job, but like there's a part of it you got to make peace with, and so going back into it is like I think you enjoy 10 years away from having to deal with anything and just kind of like moving at your own pace. And, we started our own companies that have thankfully done well. And like, we just live in a world where like, it's all just pretty low key and chill. And then, you're going back into that and you say like, okay, are we really going to do it? Because if we're going to do it, we really got to sign up for it. And so I think it took us a couple of years. I think that's why we made the record slowly. Like we would work for like 3, 4, 5 days at a time, and then we would go back to it like a month, 2, 3 months later, and we would do a few more songs. And I think that was a nice way to do it. And I think the whole time we were just sort of like actually asking ourselves, like, do we have it in the tank? Do we really want to go and like really, really do it? And the answer was like, yeah, I think we are old enough now and have enough experience to do it our way, and still cater to, to understand the way the world works and everything.
It's funny because, obviously I host one of these shows, but every now and then I'm a guest on one of them. I'll go and do Kimmel or I'll go and do Fallon. And it's so much harder, to speak what you're saying, Joel, to like be a guest on these shows. When I go and do it, I'm like, oh my God, this is so awkward. And to have this like little bit of time, and I'm like, I can't believe I make people do this every day.
Well, it's not awkward because it's a bad experience.
No,
it's awkward
it's just,
because you're going in and you're like, you're presenting yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kind of. You're just like, here I am.
It's not right, especially when it's like, it's not the work, it's a projection of the work.
Yeah, and everybody's cool as shit. Like Fallon's cool. You got to go do. I also appreciate it. Like it's a big look. It's a great look. People watch. You get texts from your aunt or your mom or your best friend's mom, or like it's really like we did Good Morning America. You have to be there at 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m. to play rock music. And but you do it because your mom is watching, your aunt is watching, your friends watch, and you also, they're all really nice. They're fucking so nice. They're welcoming. Everything's great. It's not that you don't want to be there. It's just different than like maybe the reality of like touring or even just being home. So I have to be careful talking about it from the experience of it, because I don't want people to think I'm like, fuck this. I'm not. I want to be there. I said yes to it. It's just a strange kind of experience. You know
well,
what I mean?
also
like,
you have the wisdom, of having done this for a long time since you were very young, of knowing exactly what you're getting into. So I think that ultimately like probably builds in the hesitation of, are we going to do another album? Is everything that has to go into it, not just making the music, but also then that whole promotion arm that I think that's the part people don't understand.
The promo, that's the part you get paid for.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like movie stars.
You do everything. You would do.
Movie stars are they're badasses the way they go promote their shit. But also, I will say this: it's really nice as well to go into someone else's shop. So, like all the people working on Good Morning America, they all get up super early every day, and you get to chat with them in between whatever, and you get a sense of like these are real professionals getting up and grinding and doing this job that is like a platform for people like us to promote and for our moms to watch and all of her friends to watch. And it's like it's a nice thing. But I think that like you do get like a sense of like, we're all kind of working, we're all just kind of like showing up to work. And this is what we happen to do for a living. And we all have kids and we're just trying to like,
I have a question about your kids. I know one of yours is too young, probably Benji, but of the other kids, do they think what you do is cool? And are they excited about the fact that you're going on tour?
My kids were on tour with us the first probably 7 years of their life, Benj, would you say?
Yep.
So
they're fully there. Got it.
Yeah, they have like very kind of vivid memories about like they were on tour, on a tour bus, on planes, So they have a relationship with it that I think is sweet. Like they think it's cool. They don't necessarily like love my music in the sense of like what they listen to, because they're like more, I'd say like hip hop and pop and stuff, and well some rock stuff, but more modern. Like they're into the new shit. That's all they care about.
Yeah.
But they think it's cool. They're like they think it's cool that I do this. They don't necessarily want to come to shows anymore. Like when I'm like, hey, my daughter's going to be a senior in high school and my son's a sophomore. And I always invite them like, hey, we're going to do this festival. Sometimes they'll come. Sometimes But then like Stagecoach, my daughter wanted to bring all her friends, and we went. We did a performance with Luke Combs, and my daughter and all her friends came, and they ran around all day, and they had a great time. So it's just hit or miss with what they want to do.
Was
But
your
they
daughter
think it's
like,
cool.
Dad, just know we're here for Luke Combs.
Yes. She was
Don't
like,
get
I'll
full
see
of
you
yourself,
at the end.
Dad. Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, we're gonna go. We'll see you at the end.
But those
Great.
festivals, that's like they have.
They
It's
were
like
so
being
cool.
at the Olive Garden in terms of the menu that of
Yeah.
different bands that they could see. So I feel like that's
Yeah.
a good way to bring them in.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
They were really cool. They were very cool too, Joel. Because like afterwards, it's interesting. I remember they were just like, "That was great. That was really great. Good job, guys." And then they were like, it was almost like they were trying to be nice.
So funny. My son, I just did a fundraiser that my son was in the audience for. He's 9. And it was over. He's like, God, it raised a lot of money. I'm like, it did. He's like, so how much of that do you get? I'm like, I don't get any, hon. It's for charity. You can tell he was just like, he just saw it as a manager. He's like, we got to stop throwing away your time like
It was like, what? You don't get a 10% bump for raising
Come on,
the money?
Dad. You telling me the auctioneer's walking out of there with empty pockets?
Yeah.
You guys,
Entrepreneur.
he's an entrepreneur. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for your time. But before you go, Josh is going to ask you a speed round, lightning round questions.
All right, here we go. You can only pick one of these. Is your ideal vacation relaxing, adventurous, or educational?
Relaxing.
Educational.
What is your favorite means of transportation?
Classic car.
Big truck.
Great.
If you could take a vacation with any family, alive or dead, real or fictional, other than your own family, what family would you like to take a vacation with?
Oh, this is so fucking good. This is such a good question. God, any family. That's a really tough one.
Probably the. Was it Married
I'd
with
probably
Children?
go with Duck Dynasty.
Duck
All right, Duck
Dynasty and Married
Dynasty
with
and,
Children, the
yeah.
Bundys.
The Bundys. All right.
Yeah. If you had to be stranded on a desert island with one member of your family, who would it be?
Which family? Like my nuclear
Anyone.
family or my if I was
Anyone,
going to be
you
stranded
pick.
on the island?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say my wife probably because
Yeah.
how long are we stranded? Are we talking about?
Very, very. I like that you're thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good answer.
Benji, are you
Oh
matching
yeah,
wife?
I got to go with my wife.
Yeah, you certainly
Okay.
do now.
Especially, yeah.
Yeah.
Jill sort of forced your hand. You guys are from, would you say you're from Waldorf, Maryland? Is that the?
yeah.
Would you
Easy,
recommend
easy.
Waldorf as a vacation destination?
Absolutely.
I mean, it
Like
sounds
how
great.
long of a vacation are we talking here?
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like Australia. You could do like 3 days. You could do 5 days. You could do
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot to see. There's a lot to do down there. There's a lot of, and you can go to DC if you want to go to the city for a day, and you can go back down there for the beauty and the people and the food, and it's nice.
Great.
Nice rental car. You're seeing everything.
And then Seth has our final questions.
Have you gentlemen been to the Grand Canyon?
Like in a tourist way, never. I mean, obviously, like flown over it, but never
Yeah.
been to the Grand Canyon.
Nah.
Do you want to go?
I'd go with you.
Great. Okay. So a soft
Well,
yes.
I would say with Benji, be careful what you wish for, because Seth,
I
not
also don't
not
have
that
any
into
interest.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you were like, hey, guys, I love doing the podcast with you. Do you want to go see the Grand
If we
Canyon?
maybe we might get together a trip of reluctant Canyonites.
Yeah. I'll lead it because I'm into it.
I probably wouldn't. I probably would say yes, and then I'd bail.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
3 days
we
before.
will when you RSVP, yes, we'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Motel Du Cap is out now. It's very exciting to have new music from you guys, and it was lovely talking to you both. Thank you so much for your time.
Great hanging
Thanks,
with you guys.
Seth. Thanks, Josh. Thank you,
Thanks, guys. Have fun
Cheers,
on
guys.
tour.
You guys.
All right.
Thanks.
Family trips with the Meyers brothers.